Hi and welcome to this yoga class to strengthen the back. So today we'll be working on strengthening the whole back bodies, the lower back as well as the upper back. And you won't need any props, but I always like to have a blanket or towel to hand just for extra padding if I feel I need it during the class. So you might like to grab that and just place it to one side for now. And we will be starting today in all fours position, so when you're ready, just making your way onto the mat. This is where you might like to have your towel, just for the padding for the knees, or if you have sore wrists, you can use it for the wrists. You can, even if you prefer, just roll the mat up and use that for extra support as well. We won't be here too long. This is just to start by warming up the spine a bit. So we'll start with a few cat-cows, checking that your shoulders stacked over your wrists, hips over the knees. And on the inhale, dropping the belly down, lifting the gaze, pull the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest, navel, pulling in. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest, round through the back. Inhale to make your way back up. Exhale, rounding down. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest. Then inhale to come back to a neutral spine. And from here, we'll just send the gaze out towards the left hip, just here. Also kind of moving the left hip out to the side, so you might start to get a bit of a stretch through the left side of the body. And inhale back to center, and then take it to the other side. So we'll just do this a few times. Again, we're just working to wake up the spine a little bit. One more time each side. And then back to center. So we'll move into a spinal balance now. So this is a great pose or great exercise to really work the core muscles that help support the spine. So again, just spreading the fingers nice and wide, checking your shoulders stacked over your wrists, hips over the knees. We'll send the left leg out long. Notice if the hips are coming out at all, and just see if you can bring your hips in line. The toes of the left foot pointing down. Pull the navel in. And then see if you can send the right arm out long, palm facing inwards. And then on the exhale, just bringing the knee and the elbow in towards each other, rounding through the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee and elbow together. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, round through the spine, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. And then just placing the hand and the knee on the floor. You might like to take a child's pose, so just bringing the hips back towards the knees, come onto the fingertips, stretching through the wrists, releasing any weight off the wrists. Then inhale to come back up, and we'll take the same exercise on the opposite side. So just sending the right leg out behind us to begin with. And then lifting that left leg, or right leg up, sorry. Trying to keep those hips so they're nice and parallel to the floor. Toes pointing down. And then maybe sending the left arm, sending the left arm out in front, palm facing in. On the exhale, bring the knee and elbow in together, around through the spine. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee and elbow together. Exhale, or inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. exhale, placing the hand and the knee back down on the floor. Maybe taking that child's pose again if you like, just coming onto the fingertips, stretching through the backs of the hands or the fronts of the hands. And inhale to make your way back up. And we'll make our way down into a seated position now. So if you've got quite tight hip flexors, you might like to sit on a pillow, maybe a couple of rolled up blankets or a towel. Just be crossing our legs. You can do this with your legs out in front if you like. Just make sure you try and keep a nice straight back as you do this. And we'll do something known as bird winging. So it starts to really wake up and activate the muscles in between the shoulder blades. So we'll bring our hands out in front, palms facing up. Try and keep the elbows in towards the body as much as you can. Shoulders are rolling down the back, so notice if they are coming up towards the ears and just see if you can bring them down the back. If you do notice them coming up towards the ears, sometimes it helps just to kind of take a couple of shoulder rolls to draw them down. So starting here, keeping the elbows pulling in towards the body. And then we'll just start to bring the arms out towards the side, pull the shoulder blades together. Start to feel the muscles in the back activate. And then exhale just to release the hands back in. So inhale, we'll bring the arms back out, pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale to release. Inhale to open the arms. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale to open the arms. Exhale, release. You want to make sure you're keeping those elbows in as you open the arms. And then inhale, release. Bring the hands to the tops of the knees. Maybe take a couple of shoulder rolls if you like. So that little exercise hopefully prepares us for the next one, which is our forearm plank. So this again helps to strengthen the upper body, and it's also a really good core workout as well. So you might, again, you can use your towel for actually padding if you like. And we'll be making our way onto our forearms, and we want to have our shoulders stacked over our forearms. So a really good way to align them is just to bring the hands to the biceps, line them up, bring them down to the floor, and then just bring the hands out in front. So nice straight lines. If you do have quite a bit of tightness in the upper back, when we come into this pose, you might start to feel the hands come together. See if you can hold them out in a nice straight line. If not, it's perfectly fine to bring the hands into a bit more of a tripod position. So working like this. Also, when we're in this position, we'll start with the knees lifted, but if at any point you feel like you need to bring the knees down, then feel free to do that as well. We'll be holding it for about 20 seconds, so if at any point it gets too much, feel free to drop the knees down. So once your arms are aligned, we'll just send the left toes back onto the ball of the feet, and then the right toes back. Pull the navel in. And to keep breathing here, you want to try and push back through the heels of the feet. Notice if your hips are coming up or if they're sagging down. See if you can just engage the belly, pull that navel in, keep a nice straight back. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the knees back, maybe maybe come back into a child's pose. That feels good for you. Breathing into the belly, so you might feel a bit of release and back. And then making your way back up. So next we'll be moving onto our bellies, and we'll be doing a little bit to strengthen the lower back. So making our way down, And we'll start with something known as baby cobra lifts. So bring our hands in line with our shoulders, come onto the tops of our feet. Feet can be hip distance apart if that feels good for you. You can have them close together. Bring your chin to the floor. Start to pull your shoulder blades together. Start to push the tops of the feet into the floor. Feel the legs engage. And on the inhale, see if you can just start to make your way up. You don't want to feel any pinching in the lower back. So if you notice that, just come down slightly. And then you don't want to be pushing into the hands too much. Maybe see if you can even lift the hands and start to pull those shoulder blades together. So really engage in those muscles in the lower back. Hold it here for another round of breath. And on the exhale, just coming down, you can bring your hands to a pillow for your forehead. Maybe roll out the hips. We'll do that 2 more times. Bring the hands next to the shoulders, start to push into the floor. And then inhale to rise up. Maybe see if you can lift the hands, pull the shoulder blades together, keep those toes pushing into the floor. And then exhale to round back down. Again, if you feel like you want to release the lower back at all, just bring the hands to the forehead, maybe roll out the hips. Last time, hands to the necks, to the shoulders, push into the tops of the feet, just rolling up. Maybe lifting the hands, pull the shoulder blades together. And then exhale to roll back down. Bring the hands down, rolling the hips. Next we'll be taking Sphinx pose, so just bringing the hands out in front. So again, just trying to line them up the same way we did in our forearm plank, and then bring the hands out in front. Start to pull the navel in towards the spine, pull the shoulder blades down the back, so you're creating length in the spine. Pushing the feet into the floor. Just holding it here for about 5 rounds of breath. And exhale to come back down. And then finally we'll take a pose known as locust pose. So this time bringing the hands behind us. If you can interlace the hands and then start to pull the hands back, so you're lifting the shoulders off the floor. Bring the feet in together, the legs in together, so you're making a really nice, straight, strong line there. Pushing the legs into the floor, so really zipping up the legs, making all those muscles in the legs contract. Chin on the floor. And then inhale, start to lift up, bringing the hands back, so pull them back with the hands, lifting the gaze. If it feels okay for the lower back, you can see about lifting the feet off the floor, keeping the legs engaged. Holding it here for 3 more breaths. If at any point you do need to come out, feel free to. And then after the next exhale, just slowly rolling back down, releasing the arms. Again, you can make a little pillow. Maybe roll out the hips. Breathing into the belly. And then we'll roll on over to our backs. And the soles of the feet to the floor, knees pointing up. You want to try and have a straight line between the ankle and your knees and bringing the feet in quite close towards the bum. Arms down by the side, palms flat on the floor. So we'll take a few bridge pose or bridge dips here. And we want to start to pull the navel in. And we start with the pelvis first. So no weight in the arms. We want all the strength coming from the glutes and the legs. So on the inhale, just tuck the pelvis up, start to roll the hips off the floor, push into the legs, engage the glutes. Keep a distance between the chin and the chest. You want to aim for about an apple distance between the 2 points. Pushing through the hips, pushing up. And then exhale, just drop the hips halfway. Inhale to push up. Exhale, dropping the hips halfway. Inhale up. Exhale to dip. Inhale to lift. Exhale to dip. Inhale to lift. Just 4 more times. 3, 2, 1. Holding it here. Pushing up through the hips. Feel the muscles engage. And then exhale, slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. Placing the hips on the floor. And then we'll just push into the feet again, lift the hips over towards the left and just let the legs drop out towards the right. Arms can come out at a T. Gaze can go over the left shoulder. Inhale to come back to center, realign the hips and push into the feet. Shift them over towards the right and send the knees over towards the left. Again, gaze can go out towards the right. That feels okay for the neck. Inhale to come back to center. Taking any last movements that you might like to take, so maybe bringing the knees in towards the chest, maybe rocking side to side, maybe taking some circles in one direction and the opposite direction. Just releasing any tension that you might be holding in the back. And when you're ready, we'll come down to our final resting pose. So either bringing the feet to mat distance, letting the knees drop in towards each other, or sending the legs out long, arms down by the side, palms facing up. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes if you like. We'll just bring our attention to the breath. Not trying to change the breath at all, just noticing your natural breath. Just noticing how it flows in and out of the body. Noticing whether you're breathing to the chest, maybe into the ribs, maybe into the belly. When you breathe out, notice whether the belly softens, the ribs soften, the chest releases, and whether you breathe out the nose or out the mouth. And then just start to make some small movements, maybe moving the hands and the feet. You can roll the head side to side if you like. Slowly making your way onto one side. And gently just pushing yourself back up to a seated position. And that draws us to the end of this class to strengthen the back. I hope you have started to feel some of the benefits of those. You can do those exercises as many times as you like. It's a really great way to strengthen all those muscles that support the spine. So thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you again in another class in future. Thank you.